Welcome back. Well, as I mentioned, we have Jerry here on behalf of Pacific Financial Planners. Well, welcome back. As always, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. And then how was your last financial forum? Was it good?
Oh, we have great turnouts, and again, I appreciate you having us promote that on this program.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're able to help out our residents under, a very nice setting where people don't feel pressure and they just can talk about some of their issues and you answer questions for them, which is great.
Right. We try to make it topical.
Okay.
So the next one is going to be taxes, as it's tax season, as everybody knows.
Right, right. And of course, that's what you're here to talk about. So, tax season and, people are going to their CPAs and they're looking at all sorts of different things with their financial advisors. What are some of the key things that they need to be prepared for going forward?
Well, the key is there's a huge difference between tax preparation and tax planning. And so what they've got to do is understand that there's not a lot you can do for 2022 anymore.
Right.
But that's what they're going to their CPA for, is kind of a recording of history. Mm-hmm. And yes, the way CPA records it maybe can make some advantages, et cetera. But through tax planning, they can really set themselves up to be lower not only this year, but next year and in all the subsequent years. So that's a really integral part. And they got to make sure that their advisor does some tax planning, because taxes are very complicated.
Well, exactly, especially when it comes to probably any type of losses you may have had, or you sell stocks, you got to pay taxes on that. So some of the things that you have outlined, there's a lot of different things. There's taxed always, tax-free, and tax deferred.
Correct.
So what does that mean?
People talk about diversification and they think, okay, we should have some international, we should have some bonds, maybe some stocks or mutual funds, et cetera. But taxes need to be diversified as well. And I find that most people don't have all three types of taxes that you just outlined, represented. Tax always, most everybody has. You've got a CD in a bank, you've got your checking, savings, maybe a brokerage account in your regular name or in your trust, and you pay taxes every year, like you said, on the gains and losses.
Okay.
Tax deferred, a lot of people have IRAs, and those aren't taxed until you draw the money out. Okay. But then taxed never are things like Roth IRAs, tax-free municipal bonds, some form of insurance. And you can control your taxes in retirement more than any other time in your life by having those different tax brackets, if you will, categories, not brackets, categories represented in your portfolio. And to the degree that you make some of these shifts today, well, it won't help your taxes for 2022, it'll help for 2023 and beyond. And you could really control your taxes in retirement more than any other point in your life, unless if maybe you had your own business. So
how does somebody get tax-free on, let's say, an IRA? So how do they do that?
Well, on an IRA, you can't, but on that, because that's tax deferred already.
Gotcha.
And when you draw it off, it's like toothpaste coming out of the tube. Once it's out, you have to pay the taxes.
Okay.
But then what do you do with the money? Because it'll be subsequently taxed always with, let's say, your trust assets, et cetera. Now, for a number of years, interest rates were super low, but we've talked about how interest rates have come back quite a bit. And now there's things that are taxed never, like municipal bonds, or converting a little bit extra of what you take out of your IRA into a Roth IRA. And then you could create that taxed never category, which is pretty good. And in addition, Lisa, there's types of dividends as well. And there's qualified and non-qualified dividends, and they're taxed differently. So, we've got a chart up that shows the different tax rates. Well, a lot of people fall in the 10 to 12% tax bracket. If you're single making around $70,000 a year, you're probably in a 12% tax bracket, after your AGI, your adjusted gross income, because you get a self-deduction and maybe you have a mortgage, et cetera, that you could get some write-offs on. And you'll pay zero income taxes on the dividends if they're qualified, which are from stocks that trade on a U.S. exchange that you've held for at least 60 days. Because some people go in there to try to buy the dividend, they buy it and sell it in a matter of days. So then you could control your taxes that way as well. If you're a joint income, about $100,000 of income, again, you're probably in a 10 to 12% tax bracket. And even then, let's say you're a higher income than that, you're going to pay like a capital gains rate, maybe 15% versus ordinary income, which would be 22 or 24%.
Right.
So there's ways to control the taxation on your dividends as well,
Okay.
and reduce that down. I mean, it's a very complicated subject that people say, well, I want to make more money in the market. I want the next Google or the next Microsoft as they come out. Well, what if every year we could just pay your fair share to Uncle Sam and keep more for you? Isn't that a
Right.
more consistent strategy for making money?
Right. Well, let's look at the next chart that you have, because you've compartmentalized different areas. So let's talk about the first one here.
Well, what I'm showing is that there's gift taxes and estate taxes. Now, it's really high right now. You could get, if you're a married couple, 25 million. But there was a number of slides I showed, and people could give away $17,000 a year to anyone to reduce their taxes.
Okay.
Well, all I'm really trying to show is that there's so many different types of categories. There's estate taxes, there's gift taxes, there's capital gains tax. Capital gains tax are things you held over a year. Once again, you could pay 0 to 15% tax on that,
Right.
versus ordinary income.
Right.
And that's, if you're between $44,000 and $492,000 worth of income, which is going to cover most everybody here in the village, you know, you're only paying a 15% capital gains tax. So isn't it better to try to hold it for that length of time versus paying 24, 28%
Right.
taxes?
Right.
And you just need to make sure that tax strategy is something you and your advisor are discussing. And at the financial forum, I'll give people the questions, if you will, to take back to their advisors that they can discuss.
Perfect.
And anything that they have when they're doing their taxes or some things that their CPAs say, they can come to the financial forum and we can discuss it.
Okay, good. And then one last one I think we had was Social Security.
Well, yeah, and again, a lot of people try to collect Social Security early while they're still working. And there's clawbacks on that. If you make more than $21,000, they're going to start taking some of your Social Security away.
Right.
And they'll say, no, you'll get it back, but you'll get it back when you reach full retirement age. And then whatever they took away, they'll divide it out into your life expectancy. Which
Yeah.
means you're going
But
to
you
get it
don't know
back
when.
very slowly, and then you
Yeah.
better live at least a life expectancy, or you'll never get that money back. So it's
Exactly.
really, there are so many different things when it comes to taxation. It's not just, I want to buy something and sell it.
Right.
And that's what people think a lot of times when it comes to investing. I want to find the person who's going to pick a lot of winners for me. You need somebody who's looking at it comprehensively,
Right.
and taxes are a big part of it.
Okay, so let's talk about two things that are coming up. One is the financial forum. When is that going to be again?
Second Thursday, so that'll be next Thursday at Clubhouse 7,
Okay.
3 to 5 p.m. Everyone's welcome. Bring your friends, no RSVP. Just come in and learn what it's all about. It's a fun group.
Great, and bring your questions from your CPA.
That's
And
it.
then next, you're also going to be at the Health and Wellness Expo. And you may wonder why Health and Wellness Expo, right? Well, he's finance, right?
No. Here, I'm specializing in something new here.
He's specializing in something.
Let me check you out. No.
You're going to check out my financial health.
There
right?
you go. Health and wealth go together, Lisa,
Yes.
as you know. And you need both to have a safe and comfortable retirement. So I'm offering free financial checkups, so you can come there as well.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for the information, as always.
Thank you, Lisa.
All right. And if you want more information about anything that we have discussed, including the Health and Wellness Expo, as well as the Financial Forum, you can go to pfpinvest.com or call them at 949-219-0692. We'll be right back.